Mr. Harvison here, showing some demonstrations of orbitals for the life-size orbital lab. So first off, we've got hydrogen here. And what you should do is fill in the hydrogen square here with the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Then complete your off-bow diagram and your electron configuration. And finally, draw a little picture of these orbitals and label it. Next up, we've got beryllium here. So these dice, they represent the nucleus. And this first black circle is our 1s orbital. And we've got two paired electrons represented by our yellow spheres. And we've got our 2s orbital, which is this white circle. And two electrons are in it, represented by our two red beads. Next up, we've got carbon, and carbon now has 6 electrons, and we're into the p orbital now. So we've got our 1s orbital represented by a white circle with 2 gold pieces representing those paired electrons. We've got our 2s orbital represented by a red string, and these 2 quarks here represent the 2 electrons in the 2s orbital. And finally, we've got 2 p orbitals. That is represented by these dumbbell-shaped black ropes. And we've got 1 electron in each of these 2 p orbitals. Finally, we've got neon. Neon's a little confusing because it's hard to make. It's honestly hard to make these little models. But we first got our 1s orbital right here represented by black, and we've got these 2 little gold pieces right here representing the 2 electrons in the 1s orbital. We've got our 2s orbital represented by this white string, and its 2 electrons are these little yellow guys. And finally, we've got our p sublevel. So our p sublevel has 3 different p orbitals in it. So here's this one dumbbell shape. It's got these 2 big wooden blocks for the electrons there. We've got this p orbital with 2 electrons, a little green and little green. Then we've got our final p orbital, which is going this way with these little wooden blocks representing the 2 paired electrons in there. And what you should be doing is you should go through and complete your info squares for each of these, showing your off-bow diagrams here, and your electron configurations here, and orbitals pictures right here. Please email me if you have any questions.